Giordano Plastering. Today, I'm at Madeline's house in Michigan. Oh yeah, it was a 4-hour plane ride for me to get here. Today I want to show you guys how to use your imagination, which most of you already know how to do. There's been a fella, he says, hey Kirk, why don't you say, if you love what you do, you'll never have to work another day in your life? And I thought, that's kind of cheesy, and I did say that before on a video that me and Madeline did. I'm going to put that in the description. But how about this? It's your house, it's your decision. We were sitting right where Madeline is sitting right now filming me. There's a couch and all that stuff. And so I got here 2 days ago. And we were sitting there just having a beer, a glass of wine. And this is what was here. And they were talking about, man, this house is pretty good size here in Michigan, but it looks kind of small because I'd love to see the whole inside of the kitchen. I said, well, let's do it. And so yesterday, with the help of her buddy, who is an electrician, and you guys could probably see this stuff right here. This electrical box, this electrical thing here. Shane came where there's wires going under here. There was all these wires, and I said, baby, now wires to me are like kryptonite to Superman. I don't know how to do wires, and I only have a vague idea how to move walls. So she called Shane, he come down, and then I was basically doing this with Chris. Chris is a fellow that lives here with Madeline. And so anyway, make a long story short, I had to use this baby hammer. This is all they had. And I thought, we are not going to all these hardware stores. And she says, well, Dad, there's a Maynard here. And I said, Maynard, what's that?
Menards.
Menard. And I thought, Dobie Gillis? I said, how do you spell it? Dobie Gillis is an old Gilligan's Island where they called him Maynard. So it's Menard here. And I said, no, sweetie, we're going to do all of this with what tools you have. And they just happened to have a kit. And in that kit was this little itty bitty hammer. And did I make it work? Yeah, I made it work. We tore it all apart, and then of course I had a big 2x6 I was pounding stuff with. So what you have, guys, is this is what you can do. If you had this right here, and you say, man, I want to open up a wall. Number one, and this is where it got sticky. And when I say sticky, I thought this is out of my league. I thought, okay, let's tear it apart. We cut all this off with a Sawzall. That took about an hour. And then I thought, man, I hate to do this, but I need to see the header, how far it goes across. And there was no header here. I said, oh man, no header. That's a real drag. That means we got to put one. So I cut the sheetrock here, cut it here, took it off, and there was a monster header there. There was a header that's a 4x8, and this is only 7, so it goes way up there. And it was supported by a couple other studs, and I thought, now, I don't know, because I'm a stucco guy, and I do plastering and stucco. So I wasn't sure if that header, which goes all the way back to here, to all the way to here, that 4x8, was good enough, and I thought it looks good enough for me. But anyway, any of you guys who watch this and they say, Kirk, that's overkill or that's not good enough, I'd be curious. I thought it was good enough. So what we did is we just cut that whole thing out. And earlier today, you see this dark spot, I put a little bit of fast patch here. I'll show you that soon. What I did was, I was adamant we are not going to go to Lowe's or Maynard's until the very end, because if I get to a job with BJ Carlu, our motto is, we come once, we don't leave ever. We just finish the job because everything we need is in our truck. So I thought the same thing here. We're going to just do it, and I'll use whatever we got, including this baby little hammer. It was so cute. So we got everything done, and then I said, well, I do need some fast set. And they said, well, we have some taping mud. I said, oh, no, I'm not going to be here that long. I'm here for 4 days. So I said, taping mud. I'd end up taping all this, and it'd crack, and I have to put another coat. We have to sand it down, get dust all over your whole house. Trust me, guys, you don't want that. And so Madeline went to Maynard's or
Menards.
and she got some 20-minute mud. What's 20-minute mud mean? That means when you mix it, you got 20 minutes to put it on. What happens if you can't put it on in 20 minutes? It hardens. And so I thought, well, do we have a paddle? She brought me back this paddle, and guess what? This is for paint paddle, but it works because I was thinking I could make this work because I was going to put you put all the powder in on a board, then you make a little hole in the powder, you put the water in it, and you let the water absorb through the powder, then you mix it by hand, but I'd rather go this route here. But when you're using a little paint strainer or mixer like this, it could accelerate the 20 minutes, so you might only have 10, or it could retard it, meaning it doesn't dry for a long time. I did this about 30 minutes ago, and technically it all should be white, but there's still different colors. Now here's another thing, guys. We had some what you might call issues. Like this right here was a particle board, and this is sheetrock, this is sheetrock. So we have a big disparity. Ooh, look at that. That's like, so rather than go through, I won't get into how to fix that, but what I will do is I will fix it with mud. So I'm gonna put a whole bunch of mud on here and go around. And so any of you guys who watch what we do, and you say, man, how do you do that? I'm gonna be like you guys right now, because this is a 4-inch trowel. 4 inches, it doesn't flex, which but that just means my job is gonna be a little bit more difficult because I'm used to a 5-inch trowel that flexes. This is for concrete. You push the concrete rocks in there, you get it in there. That's why this is so rigid. It's okay for concrete, but can I work it for this? It's gonna be a little difficult. My shoe might be easier, but oh no, they won't. I got tennis shoes here. So anyway, what I go with my strengths. My strengths are I could apply this fat and ugly, do here fat and ugly, and get it on. And then when it starts to set, I use water and a sponge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix all this stuff here. And then once I'm all mixed up, I'm already mixed up. Once the mud is all mixed up, then I'm gonna show you how to apply it. And this is for all you guys who say, man, Kirk, I couldn't make it work. Well, I'm working with a 4-inch square little itty bitty trowel. So we'll see how that comes out. But I'll show you, if you're not very good with the tools, there's no way I could work this and be very good. I'm gonna put it on, make it ugly, and then let it set. Then once it starts to set, I'm gonna use water and a so-called dish sponge because I don't have my regular green sponge. But we're just using the tools that we have available. That way you guys watch this, you'll say, man, I can do that. Anyway, we're gonna talk more about it once I mix all this mud up and get started. All right, guys, I'll show you what else you do need. So when we finally got all this torn down, what I told Madeline to go get me some of this. This is easy sand. How many brands does USG or other accelerated gypsum products do they make? About 5 more. So anything that says joint compound will work. And it comes in 20, 40, 60, hour and a half. All depends on your skill level, guys. And so I mixed up about that much in the bucket with this little itty bitty drill. This little bitty drill. Sometimes if you use a little paddle like this, it'll accelerate it or it'll retard it. That doesn't mean it's stupid. That just means that it'll take forever to set. So I'm gonna put that there, put my gloves on, and you guys will need mesh tape because I put all these corners on. And Madeline did say, well, Dad, can't we use the other frame? But the frame we took out was this big. And so you'd have to put all that it'd take too much time to put all that wood back, and we're not set up for all that. So what you do, guys, you put your mesh tape. And if you really want your mesh tape to adhere, put it on, clean the surface first with a wash rag, put this on, let it dry, and then I put a bonding agent over that too. This bonding agent is really important, guys. Quikrete is sold everywhere. I've never found a store that it's not sold at. Sometimes I'll use Larson's, but that's only sold at Plastering material yards. Okay, so let's see how this mud will work. Oh, that looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I have Madeline's tools here, and they're not bad tools. Madeline is a biologist here. She's a diver. She goes in all the lakes here, looking for a new species of shark. No such thing. She does marine biology for the government, and the government, I don't know, what are they doing, baby?
We study Cladophora, at least the project I'm currently working on, a type of algae.
I'm not sure what that means. Okay, so what I'm doing, guys, is I'm getting it on this trowel so I could pull it off. That might do it right here. But I'm only going to show you this side, guys. I'm not going to show you this inside or that side, because if you'll notice, I do get carried away and start rambling about a whole bunch of useless stuff that doesn't amount to anything we're doing. All right, so I was going to do this without covering the floor, and Madeline said, Dad, what about we just did this floor? I thought, I'm not going to get any on the floor. Anyway.
We'll take a look at the cardboard when you're done, and you can tell me again that nothing gets on the floor.
Yep. I'm going to start from the top, work my way down. These are my tools, her workbench. All right, so because this top here is really crooked on, ooh boy, good thing I covered that floor. Because the top here is pretty kind of crooked. What's that mean? It's crooked. Right here and right here, there's a big discrepancy. So what I was going to do is feather that in. And feathering it in just means you take it from here, and if the bonding agent is not here, this is not going to adhere for long. And while we're on that point, I had Chris, who was helping me yesterday with the sheetrock. And I said, dude, I need some sheetrock for this, I need some sheetrock for that, I need some sheetrock for this. He said, why? Why not just put it over the wood? If you put any kind of mud over wood, guys, what happens? It pops off. It'll come off in, say, a year or less, depending on the heat inside the house. And we're in Michigan, and I'll tell you, I love the heat, but I can feel some serious heat here. It seems hotter than the Bay Area by far. So, take some more mud out of here. How much mud do I got in here? Not much. That's about enough to try out. Yeah, I've been doing this forever, but I'm not certain about over mixing this. We have big paddles. It mixes it up in a couple of minutes. Okay, so back to this, where this was a 1/2 inch and this is proud. So I want to fill that up. And I already know that in order to make it perfect, I would need my big Congo trowel. I have a 20-inch trowel, and it flexes. I can just one swipe and I'm done. But I'm using this stuff, which many of you guys can probably relate to. Okay, so I'm going to take it here, go around here, and try not to fall off this wooden stool. And see right here, we pulled the paint off. There's like an 1/8 of an inch difference, actually 16. So we'll paint, bridge that gap. No. So I'm bridging it myself with this fast patch. So I bridge that myself, bridge it. Okay, now I can see my hollow spots because right here. A little bit more right here, and then the fun begins where I can just slam it out. All right, so I'm going to take it sideways now. Take it sideways. Slam. And that's kind of nasty looking there, but that's okay. We'll get rid of that. What's that saying, guys? Your house, your rules. I like that. Because when we were sitting here, Chris says, is that doable? Can we do it? I said, man, well, this house, she can do whatever she wants. As long as it's got integrity, why not? Okay, I'm gonna leave this alone right here because I can see where that's going. It'll just keep messing around and creating lines because this won't flex. Moving on, mallets adaptation. I cover that box and I said, you think I'll get any on that? Are you kidding me? Yeah, we should have covered it. Okay, so we're back here. And all I'm doing, guys, is putting a heavy coat. And once I'm done right here, I'm going to clean my own mess off of this thermostat. Okay, boom. Now I get to sit down. And here we have the same thing. It's a huge difference. It's about a 1/4 inch thinner than this. That's okay. What we do is we just fill that up here. Fill it up. Come sideways. A little bit of mud here. And yike. Okay. You guys see Madeline's pull-up bar over there? She could do like 10 pull-ups. She's awesome. One of the better plasters, as good as any man, if not better. And she says, oh, Dad, I can plaster that myself. Let's just go. And I'll show you all the lakes. And I said, baby, I'm happy doing stuff like this. We can go see the lakes later. But this gives me pleasure. I'd rather do this than have a beer with the fellas. I feel most alive when I'm doing what I like doing, and that is this kind of stuff. All right, so that being done, I might as well get this area here because I am here. What are we going to do this side, but just to show you guys how easy it is. When I run out of mud, I'm not going to make any new to finish this side. In fact, I probably have enough. But you guys watch what we do. Many of you do. We've got a lot of subscribers. And we've got about 1,000 videos. So you'll see I normally have a scoop that I just use and gets it right out of there. But here we don't have no such luxury. So anyway, I'm going to take all this stuff off here, put it over here, and this we're not touching. Why? Because you want to put this right here, cut the ends off and put the sleeve way over here. That's getting kind of fancy, but we are a construction family. So, finishing this off right here, and then I'm going to finish this other side. Ooh. Okay. Boom. And here's your guide. This corner aid is your guide. The wall is the guide. So you're coming here, guys. You just use the guide. You get a hollow spot, do that. Look, use the guide. You don't have to look at it. Ooh, that's what you get for not looking. Okay, so again, here's our guide. Beautiful. Any excess, put it off. And now, come on over here, sweetie. Or nail holes. We're using the same stuff, guys. Take it off. Take it off. Somebody's calling. Okay. Goes over nail holes, screw holes. Goes over everything. Remember, this is the last time I'll say it, guys. Your house, your rules. You can do whatever you want. As long as you don't destroy the integrity of your house, you always want to improve it, you're good. So, I'm going to take this, go sideways, And since I'm out of mud, I'm gonna leave that alone. Come on now, a little bit of mud here. Some of that mud didn't get mixed up, so I'll have to mix it up on the wall with my trowel. Is it the first time I've had to do this? No, 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 no. Is it the last time? No, 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 no. So, boom that way, boom that way. And once I mix some more mud, I'll fill that up right there. But in the meantime, I guess I'll probably finish this. Why do we want to finish this? Because we have pancakes here waiting. So while I give this 20 minutes to set, we could eat. Anyway, we'll see you guys in a minute. We are at a stage where I've eaten everything in sight. Now I'm looking to see what's ready. And you see how ugly that is. I mean, that's mighty ugly to be all right now. And that is just plain horrible. I don't have my good flexible trowel. I have this old stiff piece of octopus excrement trowel. Ew, but I'm gonna make it work. What we wanna do now is, rather than use the trowel, I'm gonna use some common sense or skill. So we wet it. And I can wet it with a spray bottle. When I was working union, we had these big $50 brushes, felt brushes. We wet it. You can wet it with a Hudson sprayer. What I want to do is try to bring it back to life. This is, let's see, Kirk's the best. Okay, it's still kind of wet right there, so let's go somewhere else. All right, let's try this right here. Oh, you suck. Okay, so I did a little trial right here to see how this would flex, and it doesn't flex. But anyway, here's the idea, guys. If you're using any kind of 20-minute mud, 40, 90, 100, okay, it's on. And when it starts to so-called dry like this, it's still a little too wet, but let's give it a go. What we do is we just spray some water on it. I had a bottle earlier. Yeah, what you do with that bottle? Because I got to wet the wall. It's just a little olive oil. So make sure I got water in here now. All right, so I'm gonna take this rusty old trowel, give this some water, and try to bring it back to life to get some of these imperfections out. And man, do we got a lot of imperfections. Okay, so I'm gonna take it here and pull it. Actually, that's not too bad for a trowel that won't flex. And I wouldn't even think about trying to find the trowel I use on a regular basis way out here in Michigan. Hard enough finding just some of the other things that I needed. So let's see here now. We want to just keep playing with it and get all the holidays and things out. Get all those holidays out. If it starts to spread with the trowel, that means it's not dry yet. So we wet it a little bit more. Go like so. And just kind of play with it. You'll know if it's ready because it won't drag. If it's dragging, that means it's not ready. So, like that. Wet this right here. Wet it with a spray bottle. Take this, come straight up. You can't do this with tape and mud, guys. And besides, tape and mud, you'll be here all day. You'll be here 2-3 times with tape and mud. So make sure you get joint compounds. They're called joint compounds, sheetrock compounds. What's sheetrock? Sure, it's drywall, same thing. So, getting my corner, taking this here, and I can see it's not really ready. So I think what I'm gonna do is give this a little bit more time because I need to get some of that mud, just leave it there. And I will show you this too, guys, since I don't have a weeding tool. Wait, what's a weeding tool? It's a trowel with two, you put it here and it gets these inner corners. You take a wet brush and you just Go right there in that corner. Ooh, doggy. Make it pretty. Then take your trowel, take it this way, pull it up. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's wet it down, wet it down, wet it down, wet it down. Okay. Take your trowel, you put it on it, and pull it this way. This is to get a pretty corner if you don't have a wing trowel. And we don't have a wing trowel. Then we take it, we could go like so. Come on down, and then hit it sideways after. Like that. That way we can get it a little tighter, a little prettier. But I can see it's still not ready, so I guess I'm gonna have to look for more food. Give this a few more minutes and come back. All right, guys, we're gonna put a conclusion on this Michigan beer. That's another reason I want to tell you about Michigan, but if I don't lose my train of thought. Okay, now since I was using this old rusty piece of dried up octopus excrement of a trowel, we're gonna burn this tonight, by the way. Now, I'm doing all the mud. It's not setting. It's causing all kind of problems. But I never used a rusty trowel, and I was outside scratching it on the concrete, trying to get the rust off. I'm not sure if that's what created. I know that's created the look, but it just sometimes it wouldn't dry, and sometimes it accelerated. But what I want to get at now is, say you got everything plastered up, and you think, man, some of these areas look like doo-doo. They just don't look good. Here's what you do, guys. This is a homeowner type of technique or trick. What am I using? I'm using gypsum mud. What happens if you use gypsum mud outside? First rain, it all comes off because it's gypsum, it's not stucco. Plaster is a technical word for interior mud. But here, wet sponge, a wet rag. If you got some stuff, you say, man, I got a whole bunch of lines right here, or these trowel marks I want to get out. They like, I can see some trowel marks, and that little piece of trowel I got just wasn't cutting it. You take a wet sponge or a wet rag, and you just kind of go over it like this. And what it does is it wets it, and it makes it really smooth and pretty. Now, I've had people say, well, I use a shirt. A shirt that you wear won't work. A rag that you use for, say, like taking a bath, you wipe yourself with a rag, that'll work. And you just kind of wet it and go over it gently, and it brings it right back to life. Then you can you can feather it in the joint real well. You feather in the joint, well, that one's not real well, but you get the idea. It brings it back to life. Anyway, I'm at Madeline's place. Can you come up here, baby? Because rather than take a picture, I want to say hello to my lovely daughter.
This is my house. It was my idea to cut the wall down, and I'm super pleased with it. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I want to send something to my sweetie. She said, send me some pictures, Kirk. And I thought, man, I like to take pictures. But Madeline and I were riding around. She wanted to show me some of the rivers and the lakes here in Michigan. So we were riding, and I asked her a question. I said, honey, what's with this? And so we were going block after block after block, mile after mile. And so I was on this bike, and I was taking pictures. So I sent them to my baby. I said, sweetie, can you tell me what's wrong or what's right with this picture? And it was like, where's Waldo type thing. So she looked through them. An hour later, she sent me something. She said, there's a lot of yellow fire hydrants. I said, close, but not it. And so she sent me something else. I said, close, but not it. And it was just a game we were playing. And I finally said, now you give? You want me to tell you what it is? And she says, no, not yet, not yet. And she mentioned the ground. I said, ooh, you're getting warm, you're getting warmer. And she says, all the lawns are manicured. I said, bingo, bravo, right on the money. And I said, how is that possible? Guess what, guys? There's a law here in Michigan. If it's over 7 inches and you don't mow it, they give you a ticket. And so mile after mile, it was the cleanest, most beautiful area I've seen. I thought, I've been all over the world, guys. Well, not really, but I've been all over the place, expensive neighborhood, and I've never seen neighborhoods that all the lawns were perfectly manicured. Anyway, Michigan, my daughter Madeline, my name is Kirk. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Surprise, we're not done. Okay, what happened now? I used this old rusty trowel, and I thought, that won't retard the drying ability. And when I say again retard, I just mean it won't set. This is 20-minute mud. What's the longest I've ever seen 20-minute mud take? Half hour. This is the next day, so we're talking 24 hours. It's still not dry. So what I wanted to show you guys is if you're using a drill, like say this, and a little bitty paddle like that, that's too fast. We use a color mix, and it's for strength, and it mixes it a little slower, and so we don't get that kind of retardation. Usually we're using accelerated mud, and that just means that in the gypsum they put an ingredient to set it quick. So 20-minute mud means 20 minutes. Never seen this happen. Mel says, well, Dad, we're in Michigan, there's a lot of humidity here. I thought, well, that's mighty cute, but the fact is, whether or not I'm using a gypsum, a lime plaster, a stucco, a cement, when you add water, they harden, period. They're all hydraulic. They harden. I remember saying that, and one of my buddies thought, man, I was picturing you underwater with tanks, scuba diving, plaster, and I thought, no, that's not what I mean. Anyway, but what I'll show you guys is I didn't get all the flaws out yesterday. In fact, I left a lot. But just to prove a point, guys, I don't believe in sanding anything. So I'm going to show you a trick now, which I tried to do yesterday, but it didn't work because it was too wet. It just would not dry. Okay, you take a rag. Now, how much water is in this rag? That's a lot of water. But now I'm going to put some more back in. I want to put some more back in to show you guys something. Rather than fill a whole house with dust from sanding all this down, and you could do that, but now you look like I mean, it goes in your eyelids, your eyeballs, your eyelashes, and you're inhaling it. Okay, maybe you might want to go sideways, sweetie, and get this nasty stuff here. This is an orange peel look, or just like an old man skin look. I said that, and Chris said, that looks like you. And I thought, man, knock it off. Anyway, I'll show you how to get rid of that. So we got water here. And before I forget, if you're going to do this, say, I already did this for like 15 minutes just now. If you're going to do this, take the rag outside, put it on a fence, and use a water hose. Do not clean your wash rag in your sinks. Because somebody will do it and say, Kirk, my sink clogged up. Well, yeah, because it returned back to its form, hard. So here's what you do. Now, you see all this stuff here. This is mighty ugly. It's all wiggly, bubbly, trowel marked. It looks horrible. So that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to match this finish. That's an orange peel look. That means you get a heavy nap roller and you roll it out to give this orange peel look. Okay, now that's a little too bad. Wet rag, guys. Now we're gonna bring it back to life. That's all we're gonna do. Without all the dang dust. We don't want all the dust. The dust is taboo. So all we're doing. And this, you could only do this with gypsum mud, guys. You can't do this with lime plaster because what is lime? Lime is limestone or rock. And then when you put water, it resorts back to limestone. Okay, now look at that. It's full of the gypsum. So we flip it around. Flip it around and make sure it's kind of square. And you could use a shirt like, well, actually, use a rag. If you use a shirt like the shirts on your back, or like this one, it won't work. You need something with a little bit of grip. Now, already all that nasty stuff came out, and notice, no dust. No dust in the air, so I don't have to inhale this. In fact, I'm just using, there's hardly no pressure, and I'm bringing it right back to life. This is when you have something like this icky old trowel. Man, I gave it my best shot. It kicked my butt. So, okay, now you see that? Now it's full, so we spin it around again. I want to look for an area that's not full of gypsum. Okay, there we go. Now, the last time, guys, this is it. And just go over it. There was, about 15 years ago, me and Lou and Jay went to a job, and it was like an hour away from our house. And we were going to do an interior fireplace, and these guys were using sanders, and it was dust everywhere. I told the guy, hey, man, we're going to do some work here, 2 guys. And he said, tough, do it. We're not leaving. So Lou said, let me go talk to him. I thought, what are you going to say that I haven't already said? They left, and I said, what'd you say to him? He said, I just asked nicer than you. I said, I'll bet. Anyway, guys, that's it. You take this rag now, you go outside and put it on a fence and clean it. Do not clean it in your sink, otherwise you'll be calling me saying, Kirk, man, we clogged up our sink because of you. No, Kirk didn't say that. Anyhow, there we go. And if you hit it long enough, you'll take it completely off. So anyway, this is a simple way to do it. And you could use a sponge. You could use all kind of things. And I'm going to leave that alone. Otherwise, I'll continue forever. My name is Kirk. Madeline on the camera. We thank you guys for watching. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, folks, we want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoy the videos that we put out, please like and subscribe so that we can keep making these videos for everybody. And as always, from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.